What's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, then welcome back. Y'all know I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. And it is time for Tipsy Tuesday, babe, where basically what I do is we take some sips, and I'm just sipping on some water as I share some tips. And this is week 3 of our side hustle workshop. So, if you have a business, a product, a service, if you have a side hustle and you have struggled with selling your products or selling your services, or if the idea of sales make you itch or feel icky or anything like that, then this episode is for you on tonight. Now, let me do some really quick checks of my social media to make sure we are good on all ends because things have been going slightly awry. um, but it looks like we are good there. And let me check one other place. And it looks like, let's see. All right, it looks like I'm good on all ends. So we should be okay, guys. All right, so today I have a lot to cover, but if you stick with me, like I told you, the whole purpose of the side hustle workshop is for you to make at least $100 within your first 30 days, within the first month. So if you follow the steps that I'm laying out from week to week, you should be able to do that. You should be able to execute on that. All right. And you don't have to be sleazy in order to be successful when it comes to the sale. You don't have to have a PhD or anything like that. All right. You just need to use these tips and strategies. So, week 1, we talked about how to avoid some side hustle mistakes. Week 2, we learned how to craft our offer. So now you got your offer laid out there. We are going to dive in deeper into the sales strategies that you need to be doing, okay? So that you can actually start making some money in your business, because that is what it is all about. Now, real quick though, I do have a couple of church announcements. I haven't had any church announcements in a while, but I do have some church announcements for you guys on today, okay, before we get into everything. So you already know we're in the middle of the side hustle workshop. This is week 3. We'll have one more week following that. And as I already told you, go ahead and check out weeks 1 and 2. 2 was on fire when it comes to crafting your offer. So that one, number 2, you definitely want to have your pen and pad ready to be taking notes. And as I'm doing these church announcements, if you don't have your pen and pad ready tonight, go grab it real quick. Pause the video, come back, okay? Because you need to be taking notes on this one too, because I'm gonna be dropping a whole bunch of gems for you. All right. Hold on. All right, I'm making sure I had got a notification, but it looks like we were good. But anyway, that's what we're gonna be dropping on tonight. So week 3. Now, also, I'm also doing my millionaire mindset mornings. That is the second announcement I have, where I join or I go live every morning at 8 a.m. and share some little bits and nuggets. I've been trying to stick to 10 minutes, but it hasn't been happening. If anything, I've been under 20 minutes. So anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to start your morning off right with tips and strategies for your business as well. Last week, we focused on mindset. This week, we just started this week. We are, because it's only the second day into this week. So we are talking about money and momentum. So check me out at 8 a.m. on Facebook or YouTube. And if that's too early for you or you got to go to work, guess what? You can always watch the replay, okay? And get the gems as well. So I want y'all to get all the information that y'all can get to make sure that your business is successful and that it is thriving. All right. So that was the Millionaire Mindset Mornings. And last but certainly not least, okay, I am bringing back Side Hustle Saturday. It's Side Hustle Saturday. Ooh, it's Saturday. So this Saturday, I will be doing a Side Hustle Saturday live. I haven't exactly decided on the time, but it's going to be probably after 12, between 12 or like around 1 or so, that I'll be doing Side Hustle Saturday. So definitely pull up for that. I know I have not done that in a while, and y'all always seem to enjoy the Side Hustle Saturdays. Now, tomorrow, I haven't decided on my topic for Side Hustle Saturday. So I'm actually going to let y'all choose the topic for Side Hustle Saturday. I'm going to do it kind of like a this or that strategy. So do you want me to talk about this or do you want me to talk about that? Okay. And y'all just vote on whichever topic that you want me to talk about. And that is what I'm actually going to be discussing on Saturday. So now here's another thing. We are not doing side hustle bingo tonight. I know y'all love, or we most of the time when we did since we've done the side hustle workshop, we have done side hustle bingo. I don't have time to do it tonight. Just once I looked at everything that I needed to cover, but I know y'all enjoy side hustle bingo. And in place of that, if when you vote on the Side Hustle Saturday video topic and you tag me in your IG stories, so that means you got to be following me, and my IG is the same as my YouTube handle at Gold Digger Chick, GOAL. I always say because I'm not the other kind. When you tag me in your stories, when you vote, then that gets you a chance to win a coaching session, a 15-minute coaching session from me. Okay. And I'll announce the winner on the live on Saturday who actually won that. Okay. All right. So, and I should have the poll posted. I'm going to try to get the poll posted by tomorrow at the very latest on Thursday. So y'all can vote on this or that because I need to figure out what y'all want me to talk about so I can get all my stuff together. So Side Hustle Saturday is going to be coming up. All right. So this concludes your church announcements. Please govern yourselves accordingly. Y'all, now let's get into it. All right. So if the word sales makes you flinch, clutch your pearls, have you feeling just like some kind of way, then let's debunk that. Okay. Because we want sales to feel natural to you. We want sales to come naturally to you. And we want you to feel comfortable about selling and talking about your business. Okay. So we are totally going to rewrite the script on how you should be selling products and promoting your offer without sounding like you're trying to scam people. Okay. Or trying to sound like a used car salesman, or you trying to be sleazy or anything like that. We're going to reframe it all. Okay. And talk about how you can sell strategically. Okay. Sell comfortably and sell confidently. All right. So I'm taking a sip. If you have not had a chance to grab your pen and paper, what you waiting on, okay? You're just going to have to catch the replay. But grab your pen and paper. All right, so let's see. What's up, April? How are you? Good to see you. And April, girl, my apologies. I haven't even checked my email to send you the link. I'm gonna check it. I know I said I was gonna check it last week, so I gotta look at my email and find the email you sent me. And then she's talking about April says sale. Never heard of her. LOL. Now I don't know if you mean sale like a good sale, or being salesy, because a sale, a good sale has my name right on it. But I'm going to show you how you cannot be salesy when it comes to selling your business. And I struggle with this too. Like I always say, I'm not a good salesperson. I don't like to sell things to people. So if you felt the way that I felt in the past, then this should definitely resonate with you. Because I used to be like, I'm not selling nobody something. But I had to really reframe that. And what I also had to really realize is that every day you are selling something, whether it's you're selling yourself, not literally, because we, like I said, we ain't that kind of person, like selling ourselves, but you know, how you interact with people, your personality, all of that kind of stuff is what makes you approachable to people. So you're always constantly selling, and selling is just a form of persuading people to take interest in you, if it's you that you're selling, or in your product or in your service, and so much so that they take enough interest that they actually purchase or they buy the product. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. I got 6 points that I got to run through tonight, and y'all know I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. I have a sales framework that I'm going to be giving you as well. So the first thing I want you to know when it comes to sales, how you can sell without feeling sleazy, all right, or spammy, is you got to reframe the sale. You are serving, not selling. All right. Let me say that again. You're serving, not selling. And I'm going to put it in the chat. Oh, thank you, April. She said it's all right. I'm gonna check the email though. But thank you for being understanding. All right, so point number one, and I had issues this morning with YouTube putting my stuff up there. So hopefully they don't think this is spam. So you're serving. Let me do this. Reframe your sale. Reframe the sale. You're serving, not selling. All right, so I don't know. They're still trying to act up. Okay. So hopefully, looks like y'all should be able to see it. And April says, I thought you meant sales as a discount. I know that's what I was like. I don't know if you mean like a good sale, because I do love a good sale. But and every good sale has my name on it. But I'm talking about how you can sell in your business. So we are going to reframe the sale from you're serving, you're not selling. Okay. What that means is you are solving problems. If what you have, if your product, if your service helps to provide a solution to somebody, helps to provide a transformation to somebody, helps provide an answer to their problem, you are actually solving the problem for someone. So when it comes to your sales or selling something, you want to ask, what problem does my offer solve? We talked about that in week 1 of the Side Hustle Workshop, okay? We talked about that. Because if you don't know what problem your product or service is solving, then you need to go back to the drawing board, okay? But so when it comes to you promoting your product, literally selling your product, you have to know what problem you are solving, because you are actually providing a service to someone and not just selling. All right. And then your audience, they are not buying something. They're not buying a thing. They're not just buying a product. They're not just buying a service. They are buying a result. They are buying a transformation. Okay. That is what they're buying. All right. So, and it could be like, say, it could be something. If you offer cleaning services to someone, you're not just selling cleaning services. Like, you're not just coming into someone's home and cleaning their home. That's not just what you're selling. Yes, it is what you're selling, but you are you're selling a transformation. You are giving them a brand new living space that is nice and clean and welcoming and refreshing. You're also providing them with peace of mind, because they don't have to do it themselves. They don't have to worry about, when am I going to find time to do it or anything like that. You are providing them with a result. It results in them having a clean space that they can come into, that they didn't have to worry about doing themselves. Okay. So that's what I mean with, you're not just your audience isn't just buying a thing. They're buying the actual result that your service or your product is providing. They're buying an actual transformation. Okay. So that's what you want to keep in mind. So selling is simply sharing a solution to a problem that your customer, your ideal customer and client actually has. All right. Key is ideal customer and client. All right. If they ain't for you, then they're not going to buy. All right. But you are literally sharing a solution for a problem that they have. So think of yourselves, instead of feeling like a used car salesman, no shade to anybody who's a used car salesman or a car salesman in general. But instead of thinking of yourself as a used car salesman, think of yourself more so as a consultant. Doesn't that sound nicer? I mean, and I'm not just trying to sugarcoat it, because in reality, like I said, you're solving their problem. So you're like a consultant. You are helping them out. You are providing a solution to something that they need. All right. And another example is, like, say you provide meal prep services, or you provide meals. Let's just make it simple. You provide meals, plates. Maybe you sell plates or something out of your house. So, or wherever, maybe you have a food truck. So you're not just providing these meals. You're offering moms their evenings back. You're offering a easy convenience, a good home cooked meal, or well cooked meal, or well balanced meal, however your food prep might be. And you're giving those people, the moms, the families, their time back. Okay. So So you are providing a solution. All right. So when it comes to sales, we really have to reframe it. If you saw a good movie on Netflix, what you gonna do? You gonna tell people about it, right? You gonna say, "Oh, you need to watch this movie. It was so good. It had this going on and this action. It really had got me thinking about this." So if you saw something good on Netflix, if you watched a good movie or saw a good TV series on Netflix or wherever, you're going to recommend it to other people. Why don't you do the same thing for your product or your service? If it's that good, you should want to talk about it and recommend it to other people. And just like you don't feel like you're salesy when you're talking about that new Netflix movie or that new Netflix show, and you're just talking about it and telling people about it, that's the same way you need to feel when it comes to promoting your business or your product or your service. Okay, you should want to recommend it to somebody because you love it. You know it's going to be awesome and amazing. Tell other people about it. All right, because if it genuinely helps people, not talking about it is actually doing them a disservice. All right, so if you know that what you provide can genuinely help someone, can genuinely alleviate the problem that they have, genuinely provide them with a solution, possibly even change their lives, allow them to have their time back, you not sharing that is actually a disservice to them. Okay, so you have to reframe the sale. Remember, you're serving, not selling. Okay, so for those who are tuning in and watching, I want you to really think about what result does your offer provide? What result does your product or your service give to your ideal customer or your ideal client? Okay. And same thing if you're watching the replay, I want to know what transformation your service is going to provide. All right. So, second thing in the Side Hustle Workshop, where we are talking about sales, the second thing you need to know is you need to know your offer and own your impact. Okay. So that goes back to what I just asked you. Do you know the problem that you are actually solving? So know your offer and own your impact, because clarity breeds confidence. If you can't explain it in one sentence, chances are you're probably confusing people. Okay. Just plain and simple. If you can't explain what you do in one sentence, I do this and I do a little bit of that. No, I need you to break it down. I need you to be clear. Okay. I need you to be clear. I need you to be concise. I need to know exactly what I'm going to get from this product and service. Okay. That you have. Have you ever talked to somebody who be trying to say, well, man, I do a little, what, huh? What you do? What's this going, how this going to benefit me? Don't be like that. Okay. Do not be like that. So you have to know your offer and own your impact. Know who it helps, how it helps them, and why it matters. Let me put in point number 2. Point number 2 is know your offer and own your impact. If you can't explain it, you fumbling and bumbling over your words, baby, we are confused. And we may want to support you, but we don't know what we're going to get from supporting you. And sometimes we might just support you so you can get out our face. And that's not what you want. You don't want a pity sale. You want a real sale, okay? Not because somebody feels bad for you, all right? So your clarity breeds confidence. You should be able to explain your offer in one sentence, all right? And quickly and concisely, okay? So to help you form that, what do you do? Simple as that. What do you do? If you don't know what you do, how are we supposed to know what you do? All right. What do you do? Who do you help? Well, man, I can help everybody. Really? Okay. No. Get clear. Who is your ideal client or customer? Okay. Who do you help? And then how do you help them? That is the solution. What solution are you providing to them? Okay. And when you believe it, it's easier for them to believe it. So the people that you're talking to, it's easier for them to believe it. Okay. But if you don't sound confident in saying it, then people aren't going to be confident in handing you their money and buying it and believing in it. Okay. So you have to believe in what you're saying. And also, stop saying vague stuff. And what do I mean by vague stuff? Because y'all be saying vague stuff and thinking y'all being specific, and you're not, okay? And I get it. It's probably just because you don't realize that you're being vague and not being specific. This is what I mean when I say you're being vague and you think you're being specific and telling people what to do. So I don't want you to do this, okay? If someone asked you if you had a product or a service or something, and you're like, well, I do graphic design. I don't really know what that means. I'm gonna have more questions for you. Okay. Okay, so you do graphic design. What kind of graphic design do you do? Is it, for magazines? Is it for small businesses? Like what? It's too vague. And you think you're being specific, but you're way too vague. Okay. So instead of saying something like, I do graphic design, you could say, if this is what you do, I help busy entrepreneurs stand out online with scroll stopping branding that books clients. Now, don't that sound good? Don't you want some of that? Like, even if you didn't have a business, you'd be like, you know what? My cousin and them, they have a business. Let me hold your business card so I can give it to them. Okay. That's how you want to sound when you talk to people. Okay. And when you tell them what you do. So instead of saying, I do graphic design, say, I help busy entrepreneurs stand out online with scroll stopping branding that books clients. That sounds so much better. So much better. It's graphic design. So that's what I mean. Y'all are being vague when you think you're being specific. When you think you're saying a whole bunch, but you're just using a bunch of big words. So, um, keep that in mind when it comes to when you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what do I do? I make cakes or I make t-shirts. No, that's not just what you do. Talk about the transformation that you're providing. Talk about the solution that you're providing. Talk about the result that you are giving to your ideal client, okay? So, and you want to challenge yourself that if you were stopped in an elevator or on the street somewhere, a businessman or somebody who wanted to invest in your business stopped you, or anybody just stopped you and asked you what do you do, could you answer it in one sentence without stuttering? I want you to really think about that. Could you answer it in one sentence without stuttering? Like, does it flow from your tongue easily and effortlessly? All right. And if you can't, we're going to fix it tonight, because I want you to leave this workshop, leave this video knowing exactly what you bring to the table and why it matters. And this is another reason why I say you got to know your value. I tell y'all all the time, you need to know your value, know what you add to society. So I always talk about it from a point of pricing correctly, but also if you realize what you're providing when it comes to selling your service or selling your product, you will price it accordingly, because you already know the result that you provide. You already know the transformation that someone who encounters your product, encounters your service is going to get. And because of that, you know how to price it appropriately. So you got to know your value, know what you bring to the table, and know why it matters. Okay. So I want you to think about today. What do you do? All right. And don't be making it all vague, thinking you being specific. I need you to make it sexy, all right? I need you to make it sound good, all right? Now, don't be lying to the people. I don't want you lying to the people, but I need you to zhuzh it up, okay? Talk about what you do as well as the result that you provide for people, for your ideal client or customer, and keep it client focused, okay? Because also sometimes what you do is you start talking about you. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm like, for the graphic design, I'm a graphic designer. I went to school. I won all these awards and all this kind of stuff. Your awards ain't gonna help me. I'm very proud of you, baby, but your awards don't help me, boo boo. I need to know how you're going to help my business. The fact that you're a graphic designer who won 5 different awards in the past year because of your designs, that is very nice and cute, but how is that going to benefit my business? So that's also what we sometimes do. We start talking about ourselves And we need to stay client focused. We need to stay customer focused and talk about what we're going to be able to do for our client and our customer, the transformation that we're going to be able to provide for them, the result that they're going to be able to get. How is that going to benefit them? Okay, so don't make it all big and fluffy. Like you start saying, well, I'm going to make it sexy. And the sexy thing is you talking about yourself. No, that's not sexy. Okay, you got to talk about people love to know how it's going to help them. So that's what you need to talk about. All right, I didn't spend enough time on that. Let's move on to the third point. The third thing when it comes to being selling without being sleazy is you need to consider your story over your script. Okay, what do I mean by that? People connect to stories, not scripts. All right, so you need to share your story, not your script. Sell with your journey, sell with your whys, sell with your wins, and share your why. People want to know why you did something. Well, I was a struggling mom who had this particular issue, and then when I created this product, I saw this transformation or I got this result. Share your story, share your journey. My child was suffering with this, and I felt that there was a need for this because I saw how much my child benefited from it. Or I had a friend who was going through this, and then once were able to do that for her, she had this particular result. Share your story. All right. People connect with the stories. All right. That's what you should do. So that is point number 3. Let me put this in the chat. Hopefully y'all are keeping up and hopefully y'all are taking notes. So share your story, not your script. You ever had somebody sell something to you? Like maybe you were on the phone with someone and you could tell they were reading a script, like word for word. Did it make you feel good? Did it make it feel like you wanted to actually buy the thing? Because they were just reading it word for word. Also, another way you can share your story, you can share other client testimonials. All right. What are your customers saying? What has somebody who has used your product or service, what are they saying about it? Another way you can share is by showing your receipts. What are you doing behind the scenes? People like to see that messy middle. They don't always like to see that polished end result. They like to see the messy middle, the behind the scenes stuff, what you had to go through, all the things you're doing. How did you make this creation and stuff like that? So show people the messy middle. I guess it helps to make you more relatable to people, I guess. I don't know why that is. We revel in mess sometimes. That's why people like gossip so much. But people like to see that behind the scenes stuff. That's why like some of these not saying these are messy, but like, the get ready with me stuff, all of that is kind of popular because people like to see, the transformation or the makeup tutorials and all that kind of stuff, seeing how people change. So show some behind the scenes stuff. So show some mini case studies, things that you're working on, or, and then share like, this is what I wish I had when I first started or something like that. Share something like, people just don't want to always see the perfected and polished stuff. So keep it real and keep it relatable. And don't just post to sell stuff. Post to be able to connect with people, because people can tell when you're just when you're inauthentic. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're connecting with people. You want to make sure that you're helping people and not just trying to find a way for these people to help you. All right. So here's an example of this. So let's say, I don't know, you were selling a book or something like that. So instead of saying, I need y'all to buy my ebook or or even simply something like buy my ebook, instead you can say, this book is what I wish I had when I was struggling with X, Y, and Z. Or this book really helped me out when I had to do this particular thing. Okay. Once again, you're talking about why they need it and the result that they're going to get when they get it. I was struggling with this. When I was struggling with this, I wish I had this particular product or this particular service, because then I could have this. this, and the other this is going to be something, magnificent and glorious. That's the transformation that they want to see. All right. So it's not just buy my ebook or buy my book or buy my product or buy my service. It's like, when I had this book, when I had this product, when I had this service, then I didn't have to struggle with X, Y, or Z. All right. So keep that in mind when you're selling to other people. Don't just say buy this. Say buy this if you want to have, if you want to grow your hair super duper long like mine or whatever, then buy this wig. Something like that. You want to show the result. All right. So let's see. And then I have an example here that I wrote down. So I'm going to show you the difference between it. We're going to do a quick test. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know which one y'all like better, okay? So which one feels better to you? All right? This is choice A, or the first choice. So if I came on, or I made a post, or I said something to you, and the first thing I said was, I sell skincare products. Are you more inclined to buy? Or are you more inclined to buy if I say, I help women finally feel confident in their skin after years of struggling with acne? Which one is going to make you buy? Okay? Even if you don't buy, like, even if in that case, if you say, well, I don't have no acne, so I don't need it. Just the way it was presented, you might say, hey, I don't have any issues, but I will keep you in mind for someone who does. Or I actually have a friend, or I actually have a cousin who has that. Let me hold your business card, or let me get your information. Let me get your IG so I can pass that information on to them. Okay? Excuse me. So you tell me, which one sounds better? A is, I sell skincare products. Or B is, I help women finally feel confident in their skin after years of struggling with acne. All right. Let me know. I'm going to take a quick sip. All right. So let's see. Let me see. What are y'all voting on? And D-Live, what's up, D-Live? I haven't seen you on here before. And said, no, it's annoying. I don't know. That might have been something else I was saying earlier. You have to let me know. And then April says number 2. So number 2 sounds better. She says B. I know, I switched it up. I'm sorry, y'all. I was like the first one, the second one. Then when I did it again, I was like A and B. So number 2 sounds better. And part of the reason it sounds better is because it tells what result you're going to get. It's not, if you just say I'm selling skincare products, I don't know what I'm going to get. Is it anti-aging? Is it acne? Is it like making my skin feel more moisturized or something? So you're telling the result, you're telling the transformation, and you're also telling about the problem that they're having. So it helps to identify. And this is why I say you have to know who your ideal customer, your ideal client is. Because even though your product might be able to benefit everybody, you need to be talking to specific people so that they can tune in and they can tap in to what you're offering. Okay. So in that example, it tells you the problem that they're having. They've been struggling with acne for years. And with this product, and it tells about the transformation they're going to have with this product, they're not going to, one, it says they will feel confident in their skin. Confident, implying that they are not going to be struggling with acne anymore. Not so much so to the point where you're just not going to we're not just going to get rid of the acne. We're going to have you feeling fly. We're going to have you feeling confident. We're going to have you like looking in the mirror, admiring yourself, okay? Because you feel that confident in your skin. That is what selling does, okay? And here's the thing, and I talked about the used car salesman or the car salesman, and like I said, no shade to the car salesmen or anything like that. Part of the reason they let you get in the car and test drive the car and like even take the car home. I remember when I got my first car, they was like, take it home. It was a couple of dealerships. They was like, take the car home. Take it home with you. It happened with two of the cars I was test driving, and I ended up getting the second one. They're like, take it home. You can have it for a day. Now this was back in, like, I don't know if they still do that, because the second time I bought it, that did not happen. But I did buy it out of state, so I couldn't take it home. No way, because I was too far away from home. But this when that happened, that was probably like in 2011 that I had got it. They was like, take it home. They want you to really picture yourself in the car, feeling good, all of that. They want you to like really see yourself that way. Okay. They want you to see the transformation this car is going to provide. They want to have you feeling all the different things that car is going to give you. So they're like, yeah, you can test drive it. And then they're like, take it home. You can have it, just bring it back tomorrow. You don't have to worry about putting no gas in it. Just bring it back. Yeah, drive it around a little bit more. See how it does. See if you like it. But that is what a good salesperson does, because they know once you start picturing yourself in the car, once you start going places, once other people might see you in the car, oh, you got a new car? Oh, girl, you look good in it. That looks nice, or whatever. All of those different things. And that makes you more inclined to buy and get the thing. All right. So share. But anyway, the whole point, number 3, was you need to share your story and not your script, because your story is someone's survival guide, but it can also be your sales strategy. So share parts of your story when it comes to your products or your services. Okay. And think about it. Okay. Sometimes we don't always want to share, because it might make you seem very vulnerable. And I always say, don't overshare. Like, if you are not comfortable sharing, like maybe it's something traumatic, or maybe it's something that you really suffered through, then I'm not saying do that if you're not feeling comfortable with it, or you're still kind of struggling with it. But if it's not something that's really like trauma inducing, where you're in therapy and stuff for it or whatever, be a little bit vulnerable and share that. Okay. Because it really can help someone else. All right. The 4th thing, let me see how I'm doing on time, y'all. All right. I'm talking too much, so I'm going to try and speed up this last stuff, because I still got to give you the framework so y'all can easily be able to craft your own story. So the 4th thing, and we're only halfway through the points. I only had 6. Jesus. All right. So the 4th thing I have is promote consistently without apologizing. Some of y'all, don't worry about what them people think. Okay. If they sick of you posting, they will unfollow. They will move along. And like I've told y'all before, they are not your ideal client or customer. So don't worry about that. But I want you to promote consistently without apologizing. So that was the 4th point number 4. Promote consistently. Hopefully y'all are writing this stuff down. Consistently without apologizing. Don't apologize for selling your stuff at all. None of these commercials we see on TV, they don't apologize for it. McDonald's still makes commercials. You know how big McDonald's is, and they still making commercials and stuff. Other places are they don't apologize for it, because they know it works. Okay. They know it works. So promote consistently without apologizing. Stop hiding and not sharing your offer. Only talking about it once a month. Okay. Because you feel like you're going to get on somebody's nerves. Who cares? When you get that sale from your ideal client or customer, they won't feel like they're getting on your nerves. And I think I've shared this before. If it's something that you really, really want, or whoever wants, your customer wants, when they see it again and again, it doesn't get on their nerves. It only gets on the nerves of people who don't want the thing. So that helps you weed out the people who are not your ideal client or customer. But when it's something that your customer, your ideal customer or client wants, when they see it again and again, they don't get annoyed. They're like, oh my goodness, I forgot to order this. I'm so glad this popped back up on my timeline so I can go ahead and order this. Or, oh my goodness, I need to look this up and get this, or whatever. Or, oh my, when I see stuff that I really like or stuff that I really want and it keeps popping up, and showing it to me, I go dig in a little bit deeper. I go investigate it some more and find out, okay, oh yeah, I did like this. Let me find out how much they charging for it. Let me see if I want it. Oh, okay. Well, let me wait a little while. Let me sleep on it and see if I really want it. And then when it pops up again, you know what? I forgot about it. Let me go ahead and order it. When I see it over and over, it don't get on my nerves. That's the reason why those McDonald's commercials don't get on your nerves. If you like food and you like to eat, when you see when you see the burger, it doesn't get on your nerves. It makes you want to say, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna go check out McDonald's tomorrow, or I'm gonna run by McDonald's. It looks good. It doesn't get on your nerves." Okay, so don't worry about promote consistently without apologizing and do it more than once a month. Okay, you need to start making it part of your weekly content flow. Okay. And it's not annoying to promote what helps people. It's actually selfish if you don't. All right. If you're keeping all your goodness to yourself, that is you being selfish. All right. So it's not annoying to promote what actually is going to help people. And that goes to what I was saying. When I see something over and over that can benefit me, it does not annoy me. All right. It's only when I see the stuff I don't like even now on the social media accounts, like, is this ad helpful? Like, no, it's not. I don't want to see that. Move it out my timeline or whatever. And they're doing that so that they can start curating ads and stuff for you that are things that you really like. Okay. And sometimes when y'all see that and they pop up and it says, is this ad helpful for you? You just, sometimes you don't respond, but you don't always hit no, right? Because you're like, it don't really bother me or whatever. So it's actually helpful. All right. And then also when people see your stuff over and over, repetition helps build recognition. And when people have recognition, that will help build trust. So repetition equals recognition, and ultimately that will lead to revenue. Okay. So now here's the thing. Here's what I want you to please keep in mind. Excuse me. There are different ways to promote. Now, if you keep posting the same thing, it's making my eye twitch. If you keep posting the same thing over and over, now that is annoying, all right? That is annoying. I need you to switch up. I need you to switch up the picture. I need you to switch up the messaging. I need you to switch it up just a tad. Just a tad. So it's not, that is annoying, okay? That is annoying. All right. So I want you to post consistently and repeatedly, but post differently. Here's what I mean by that. You can talk about your offer 3 to 5 times a week, okay? But do it in different ways. All right. Maybe one day you do a behind the scenes. Another day you're like asking, do like a Q&A session or something like that. And then another day you're doing a story time. Like, here's what happened was. Then another day you do a client testimonial. Okay. Another day you can do a client transformation, something, switch it up. Okay. Don't keep posting that same thing over and over and over again. Now that is annoying. Okay. That is annoying. All right. All right. Even if you gotta go live every day and talk about something different, do that instead of posting and spamming us with that same picture graphic every doggone time. Now that's annoying. All right. So you gotta mix it up. You got to mix it up. All right. Whew, I'm glad I got that off my chest. All right. Let me see. Let me see. April says they switch up the ads too. It's not the same thing every commercial. Exactly. You gotta do that too. And D Live is laughing. I'm serious, y'all. That make my eye twitch. It really, like, I'm sick of that. No, please stop and stop tagging us. Okay, stop tagging us. We see it. We don't see it. We don't see the same thing over and over and over. I don't want it. Start tagging the actually post something so they can see it. Stop tagging me, okay? I don't want it. I don't. I don't. All right. So you got to switch it up. And here's the thing. So if you post like what you eating, if you post your vacation, if you post your pet, you post those new lashes you got, whatever, those new nails or whatever, but you don't post your offer, how they gonna talk about what you never talk about? All right, you gotta post it. All right, just switch it up a little bit. And then also you want to make sure you are clear in what you're sharing, because I always say a confused customer will not buy. So I want you to really think about how often are you actually talking about your offer online. All right. If it's only been like once a month, you gotta tighten up. We gotta tighten up. Even if it's only been once a week, you gotta tighten up, okay? Because you competing with the big dogs, all right? Where they can buy ad space, where they're running ads, so much so, like, not only now do they have commercials, they got it, they have ads on your social media accounts, and you just speak their name, and now your phone is showing you ads for them. So you competing with the big dogs, all right? So if you're only posting once a week, once a month, every other week, it's not enough. You're not even keeping pace with these big companies who are marketing to people, all right? So just bear that in mind. All right, fifth thing. I said I was talking too much and I'm still talking too much. The fifth thing I want you to do is shift from selling to solving, okay? So what question is your audience Googling at 2 a.m. in the morning? We've all been there. Something crossed your mind like, I wonder how many teeth do dogs have? Like, that's not a problem. But y'all know y'all have been up at like 2 a.m. in the morning just Googling some random stuff, or something happened and you're like, oh, let me look this up real quick. So create content that answers the questions and leads them into a solution, okay? Or leads them to your solution. More specifically, leads to your solution, okay? So whatever questions that they might be wondering, whatever problems that they might be having, you need to provide the answer to that. You need to be providing the solution to that. And your content should be providing the answer and the solution to that. And let me give you an example. Hold on, let me put this in the chat real quick. All right. And then April says, I don't want it and you can't make me. Hold on, you talking about you don't want to post? April, you got to do better. All right, hold on. I'm going to put 0.5 up here, and then I'm going to give you an example of who really does a good job of doing this. So you want to shift from selling to solving. So you want to solve their problem. All right, here is who, and this person has been catching a little bit of flack lately, but I love her regardless because I know her heart. So who does an awesome and amazing job of this is Auntie Tabitha Brown. Now, she has several different product lines out. She is in various different stores. She has her hair line that I definitely use. And then she has her perfume line that she just came out with her husband. But Miss Tabitha Brown, she get on there. Okay, so yes, there are ads that have her products, okay? And they might just be static picture ads with maybe the perfume or even with Donna's recipe and stuff like that. But then Miss Tab, she takes it a step further. She'll get on here and she'll be like, she does her hair. So you can see, hey, this is what I put. This is my hair product. When I use it on my hair, these are the results that I get, okay? And she comes at us like when she first wakes up in the morning, okay? Because once I take this off, it's a whole different situation under here, okay? Like, seriously. So she comes at us with this. She comes to us with the problem. Then she provides us with a solution, which is her hairline products or whatever she's using. And then she shows us the transformation, all right before our eyes. That is a good sales strategy. And it doesn't look salesy. It doesn't look scammy. It doesn't look sleazy or anything like that. It looks real. It looks relatable. She's being vulnerable by showing us what she looked like first thing in the morning when her hair is undone. These are all the things that we talked about. She does an amazing job at that. amazing. Same thing with like some of her spices. She'll show how she cooks and stuff like that. And then, she have us believing, because we can't taste it ourselves. But she have us believing it's so doggone good and it smells even better. All this kind of stuff. Same thing with her perfume line, her scent line. She like she is masterful at that. And I use her as an example because she is a small business. Like, she is not a big corporation, although she might be well on her way to becoming that. But she started just doing stuff on social media, which is what you can do. So look at these people. Look at the people you like. Use them as a blueprint. Use people who you like and follow on YouTube, who might be selling a product, who might be selling a service. Use them as a blueprint. What are they doing? What are they posting? What kind of videos are they putting out there? And you can do the same thing and follow their lead, okay? Also, when you educate people, that helps you to be relatable, and that will draw your ideal customers and clients to you. Okay, so, and we see this too in some of the reels and stuff like that. People will post different things, and they show you the problem. I ain't gonna say the other person I've seen who does a good job of this. They show you the problem, they give you a solution, which is their product, and then ultimately you'll get a transformation. Okay, so here's an example. So a fitness coach could post, or any kind of coach, well, I'm going to use fitness coach. A fitness coach could post 3 reasons why you're not losing belly fat and what you should do instead. And then here's the thing that I'm also seeing. So there'll be posts like that. So 3 reasons you're not losing belly fat and what you could do instead without starving yourself. Like, they'll have that little byline thing, without starving yourself, because some of y'all will keep scrolling like, yeah, in order for me to lose belly fat, I'm gonna have to starve myself, or I ain't gonna be able to eat what I want, or I'm not gonna be able to eat the foods I want. And so they already counteract your objections that you might have to actually clicking on the video or seeing what they're talking about by going ahead and calling your objections out. So you have to be strategic in the same way. So 3 reasons you're not losing belly fat, what to do instead. And guess what, sis? It don't even involve you starving yourself, because that's what you're thinking. So that's why also I tell you need to know who your client and your customer is, ideal client and customer, because you need to know what they're struggling with, how you can help them, as well as the objections that they might make, so that you can call it out in your sales and your marketing stuff. Okay. So just be mindful of that. Let's see. And I'm trying to see, because I'm about to skip, because I am really, really short on time, and I don't want to go too far. I already know I'm going to be over the hour, and I'm not trying to go too far over the hour with you guys. Okay, I do want to share this. So people don't buy when you say buy now. Just because you have a offer or something, or you're trying to run a sale, people aren't going to buy just because you said buy now. Or they are going to buy when you say, here's why your problem keeps happening and here's how to fix it. All right. That's when they're going to buy. When you show them what the problem is, and then you show them how you're going to fix it, or how this is, whatever you have is the solution for it. Okay. So I want you to think about this week. What is something that you have, that you offer, something juicy that you could create this week to solve a problem that your audience or your customer has. All right. So, hold on. Let's see what April's saying. No, when you were talking about people sending out the same ad. Hold on. Let me scroll back up. Oh, oh yes. So yeah, they are so annoying. She's talking about, I don't want it and you can't make me. They are so aggressive sometimes in the wrong ways. But anyway, all right. So I'm going to wrap up the final point, and then I have a framework for you to easily be able to craft your sales offer, or make your sale without sounding sleazy. So the 6th thing I have is give before you pitch. All right. What do I mean by that? Make sure you are serving your community first. Give them value. Always provide value, and provide free value at first. I know I talk about don't do everything for free or whatever. Do certain things for free. Because if you're giving them a lot of value with your free stuff, because some of y'all be giving out free things and they ain't worth nothing. Okay, so now you go say give people everything, but at least give them some value. Because you want them to start thinking, if this is what the free version is, I can only imagine what the paid version is going to be like. Okay, so you want to offer value before you pitch. So let me put that in the chat. That is the last and the final point. So point 6 is offer value, or I should say, I'm just going to put give before you pitch, and then offer value. That is what you want to do. So whether that's free tips, lead magnets, giveaways, whatever it is, do something and show how you're going to be able to provide value for them. Excuse me. And also think about the last time you actually bought something. Was it from someone who gave so much free game that you were like, oh my gosh, I know they got the sauce. Okay. And that's usually how it is. Like for some people, I'll follow them and I'll see, hey, the stuff that they're posting for free, I'm like, that's great information. I want to learn more. So then I'll tap into their community, or I'll buy something else I won't say something else. I'll buy something from them because of the free value that they have been providing to me so far. All right. So just be mindful of that. All right. Okay, so that is it. Since we are running short on time, and I want to get to the second part of the sales strategy, I want to leave you with a sales pitch template. Okay, so this will help you to easily summarize your offer and promote it in a way that's confident, clear, and not salesy. All right. So real quick, if you missed the points prior to that, I'm going to do a quick little recap of it. Let me see. I got to go back through my notes. So the first thing we talked about, and the only reason I'm giving the recap is because pretty much everything is going to touch a little bit on this when it comes to you writing out your sales pitch offer. Okay. So the first thing we talked about was reframing the sale. Remember, you're serving, you're not selling. The second thing was know your offer and own your impact. So know what you do, who do you help, and how do you help them. The third thing was, remember, share your story, not your script. Okay. The fourth thing was promote consistently without apologizing. We definitely talked about that. Promote the right way. Go rewind and go back to that so you can make sure you're doing it in the right way, so you could hear me clearly. All right. The fifth thing is you want to shift from selling to solving. So you need to solve the problem. And the sixth and final thing I had was to give before you make an offer or before you pitch. All right. So let's talk about the framework. This is your 30-second sales pitch formula. All right. So if you want a 30-second sales pitch formula, oh, and I forgot to put the last one up here. Here's what you need to do. You need to make it clear. All right, clear. So y'all like my little frameworks. One of my frameworks before was what? Hype. So you know clear means something. So make your offer clear. So let me put that in the chat. Make your offer clear. And we're going to talk about what is clear. Make your offer clear so that people will know. So clear stands for, the C is for client. L is for what was their life before they encountered your product or your service. The E is for your expert solution. A is for your amazing result. And R, they will receive, is for received offer. Okay. So clear. Who is your client? All right. What was an L? What was their life before? All right. What does it look like? Or what problems did they have before? E is what is the expert solution that you are going to be providing. And then A is the amazing result that they're going to get from it. And then they're going to receive your offer. All right. How are they going to receive your offer? So here's what I'm going to do. Let me do this. I'm going to put it in the chat, the framework, and so y'all can see it on the screen really, really easily. Let me go to my notes and copy and paste it. Where is it? And that will pretty much be the last thing that we are going to touch upon today. And then I'll give you some examples of how you can use this. And if you want me to try and use this framework for your particular business, product, or service, then drop it in the chat so that I can help you formulate that. All right. So I think once y'all see it on the screen, it'll be easier for you to understand what I'm talking about. And I am, all right, all of it did not show up because it was too long. But I'm going to read it. It says, I help ideal client, or okay, so I'm just going to put, I help ideal clients who are struggling with this particular pain point by providing this particular solution so they can have this particular result. If you're ready to do that thing, this offer is for you. All right. So let's actually use an example. And like I said, if you want me to use your business as an example, drop it in the chat, and then we will reframe it using this particular template to guide you through. And this is your like 1 minute, literally 30-second sales pitch that you can do. All right. So we're going to talk about hair care. I help women with natural hair who are frustrated with dryness and breakage by offering handmade, nutrient-rich hair butters that moisturize and promote growth. If you're ready for healthy curls without the stress, my products are for you. All right. So it tells you I help. The client is women with natural hair. So don't just say women. You need to get specific, and not just women with natural hair who struggle with. So instead of what is their problem? So who are frustrated with dryness and breakage. That is their problem or their pain point. How do you help them? I help them by offering or by providing handmade nutrient-rich hair butters. And what do these hair butters do? They moisturize and promote growth. So if you're ready for healthy hair without the stress, then my products are for you. All right. So that was one. Let me see. All right. So I was looking to make sure nobody dropped anything in the chat. Let's see. I think I will do. We used the ebook example earlier, but let's use this. We'll use the ebook example again. So if you had an ebook, you can say, I help new entrepreneurs, that is the client, who feel overwhelmed, that is their pain point. Overwhelmed. How do I help them? About how to start by offering step-by-step ebook. And what does it do? It walks them through launching their first side hustle. So if you're ready to stop overthinking and finally take action, grab your copy today. All right. So you can literally use this template to plug and play it in whatever product or service you have to offer. This is how you should be framing out your thing, not talking about you and saying how many degrees you have and how many certificates you have and how many awards you have. You need to be talking directly to your ideal client and customer. And if you don't know the problem that they have, if you don't know what their pain point is, if you don't know what they're struggling with, that's where you need to go back and do your market research. Okay. Everything else you should know. And if you don't know what your product is going to give them, then that's a bigger problem in and of itself. All right. So I hope this helped you, so you would realize that selling, it does not have to feel gross. It doesn't have to feel icky. It can actually be helpful. You're providing a service to people. But part of it is knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing what you bring to the table, and knowing the problem that you solve. All right. And it is more than just having a script. It is about you sharing your stories, sharing your journey, sharing your strategy, and as well as sharing your heart to serve people. All right. So that's all I have. Remember, y'all, catch the replays of weeks 1 and 2 of the Side Hustle Workshop so you can make your first $100 in 30 days. And be sure to pull up tomorrow morning for Millionaire Mindset Mornings. I'm going live 8 a.m. every morning. I've been doing good, but we're only 9 days in. But y'all, sometimes it's gonna be a struggle. It is going to be a struggle. You're going to get me how you get me first thing in the morning. Okay. So, and also don't forget to vote on what you want me to talk about for Side Hustle Saturday. I will have that poll posted no later than Thursday. So check that out. And remember, if you tag me in your IG stories, it will help you. It will not help you. It will give you a chance to win a free coaching session with me. Now, before we wrap, I always have an action step that I want you to take. So here's what I want you to do. All right. Because you're not just sitting here listening to me talk and then not going to do nothing. All right. We talked about you have to execute on these things. All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to choose one offer. Just one, not 50, 11, not all 5 that you had. Just pick one. Okay. Just one. Choose one offer. And for the next 7 days, talk about it in 3 different ways. All right. So for the next week, I want you to talk about it in 3 different ways. We talked about this. All right. You can post a story sharing your why, like why you're doing this, why you think it's helpful. You can post a story solving the problem. So like I shared with you, like how Tabitha Brown does, and she shows the problem and she shows how she's going to solve it. Or you could post like showcasing a result, a testimonial. There's different ways to post. We talked about it before, okay? Different ways you can tell about your product. I know I emphasize that a whole lot. Do not put the same picture post up over and over and over again, okay? No ma'am. All right? No ma'am, no sir. Post in 3 different ways over the next 7 days, okay? And I want you to drop this in the chat. If you are done being scared to sell and you know what you have is valuable, I want you to put I sell solutions with clarity, okay? Also, if you're ready to pitch with purpose and start promoting like a pro, put that in the chat. I sell solutions with clarity. Why with clarity? Because when you are clear about what you're doing, when you're clear about what you're offering, when you're clear about the problem that your product or service provides, that is how you attract your ideal client and customer, and that's how you get sales, okay? So put I sell solutions with clarity, okay? In the chat, whether you're watching live as well as watching on the replay, because sales isn't a skill you master overnight. It's something you have to practice and polish. All right. So we're going to get our practice in. We're going to get our reps in. And it starts this week by you posting over the next 7 days in 3 different ways about one offer. One. Okay. Because we don't want to post about a whole bunch of different offers. I know you got a lot of products, okay? I know you offer a lot of different things, but just post about one, because a confused client or a confused customer will not buy. So pick one and post about it, okay? So if you talk about, if you do these things, then you should get some sales in your business, all right? So I want to see it. Tag me in your post so I can see what you're offering. It might be something I need, okay? It might be something that I want. So tag me on IG when you post, as well as so that I can encourage you, okay? Let me know what you're doing, all right? You can't cash out if you keep hiding it, all right? But I've kept you here long enough. Oh, thank you, April. April put in the chat solutions with clarity, but I'm going to let y'all go because I ran over. I was running my mouth way too much, but please be sure to join me tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Take care, guys.